There was a Mexican man who crossed the border on a bicycle every single day for a whole year with two huge sacks hanging over his shoulders. But nobody saw the most obvious truth right in front of them. The man rode up to the border on an old bicycle carrying two big heavy sacks on his back. A border patrol agent stopped him. "What's in the bags?" The Mexican man answered calmly, "Sand." That sounded suspicious. The agent made him get off the bike, ripped open the sacks and dumped everything out. There was nothing inside except ordinary sand. Even so, they held him overnight and sent the sand off for testing. The results came back. It was just sand, nothing else. The next day they let him go. He filled the sacks back up and crossed the border again. And for the next full year he did the exact same thing every single day. Same old bicycle, same two sacks, same answer every time, just sand. They searched him, scanned him, checked everything, but never found any contraband. Then one day the man simply stopped showing up. A few months later that same agent happened to spot him in a restaurant in Texas. He got up from his table and walked straight over. "Listen," he said, leaning in and lowering his voice, "you've been driving me crazy. Off the record, what exactly were you smuggling back then?" The Mexican man smiled calmly and said, "Bicycles." The agent froze where he stood, staring blankly at his own bicycle parked outside. The Mexican man smiled again and said softly, "Most people don't fail because they don't work hard enough. They fail because they see exactly what everyone else sees." The agent kept staring at the bicycle outside the door. The Mexican man stood up, smiled calmly, and before leaving said one simple sentence, "Most people only notice the sacks. Very few ever pay attention to the thing that's actually moving." Years later, that same Mexican man saw a young girl about to jump off a pier at Miami Beach. He asked, "What happened?" The girl said she was more than $200,000 in debt and couldn't see any way out. The Mexican man said, "Don't do this. I can help you, but you have to follow exactly what I tell you." The girl hesitated, so he kept going. "What do tourists come to the beach for? Fun, especially when they bring kids. If a child wants a $5 toy, almost no parent is going to say no. So here's what you do. First, buy water guns, but not the ordinary kind. Next, put a wave logo on them so they look customized. Decorate the beach area with little flags and festive decorations. Third, and this is the key part, give the water guns away for free and only charge a $5 deposit. When they bring the water guns back, refund the deposit." The girl frowned, "But then I'm not making any money at all. I'd have to give the deposit back." The Mexican man smiled. "That's exactly where the trick is. The deposit is so small that kids can't resist it, and a lot of parents will grab 5 or 6 water guns at a time. In 5 days you can easily hand out 50,000 of them. But in reality, less than 10% of people will bring them back. Half of them will forget, and another 40% will remember, but won't care about the $5. The kids will love the logo and want to keep them as souvenirs. Each water gun costs about $1. Every one that doesn't get returned makes you $4. 40,000 water guns means $160,000. The girl's eyes went wide. She felt like she had wasted 23 years of her life. She followed everything the Mexican man told her to do. 1 month later, she had made a huge amount of money, paid off all her debt, and completely changed her life. Later she asked, "How did you come up with all of this?" The Mexican man shrugged. "Since I was little, my parents taught me to understand people, to know how to deal with the world, and to adapt to society. While other parents were saving money to buy houses, my parents were investing in my brain. Why does a poor person feel like the sky is falling when they owe a few $100,000, while a rich person can owe millions and act like it's no big deal? Because what poor people lack isn't money. What they lack are the truths that rich people almost never tell you. If you put money and a bone in front of a dog, the dog will choose the bone because it doesn't know that with money, it could buy a lot more bones. That truth is terrifying. That's why I recommend the Raise Children Street Smart series. It teaches kids the things school never teaches. How to think, how to deal with people, how to stay calm in hard moments, how to keep others from taking advantage of them, and how to solve problems without making conflict worse. What I love most is that it doesn't feel like dry, heavy preaching. It uses comic-style stories and real-life cases to make kids genuinely interested. Kids won't feel like they're being forced to learn. Instead, these lessons sink deep into their minds. Children who understand this way of thinking from a young age will have a huge advantage later in friendships, at school, with teachers, and when they step into the real world. Because knowing how to deal with the world does not mean hurting other people. It means knowing how to protect yourself, understand other people better, and make wise choices in a complicated world. A lot of adults don't learn these lessons until after they've been humiliated, used, rejected, or hit hard by life. If your child is still young, now is the best time to start. Don't wait for life to teach them through pain. Put this set of books into their hands. Raise Children Street Smart. It will help children build judgment, observation, social skills, and emotional intelligence from an early age. These abilities can save them from a lot of future pain and hard hits. Don't wait until your child is emotionally hurt or completely overwhelmed before teaching them how the real world works. Starting now, give them Raise Children Street Smart.